So, Wig Care. Yeah. So, every cosplayer owns at least one wig. And usually, if you're new to cosplaying, you don't have one of these. This is actually my only one because I prefer to stow my wigs like this, and then they all have their own hangers and they're all hanging up in my closet, which is over there. This is actually my Miku wig. So yeah. A lot of the times I see wigs that are just frayed and like disgusting and just horrible and just haven't been taken care of very well, and honestly it is one of my biggest pet peeves. So, and there is a way to take care of your wigs. There is. Like this one, for example, it actually needs a little bit of work. So awesome, because I actually am going to go through the process of how I take care of my wigs. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. The materials you're going to need are basically your wig. That's a pretty obvious one. You're gonna need some laundry detergent, and then some, I like to use Aussie shampoo, and that usually works pretty well for me. But I use Aussie shampoo, laundry detergent, probably a big sink. It's best to do this in either like a bathtub or a bigger sink. Scratching my nose. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. And the first rule of wig care is no brushes. Never use a brush. And of course we're going to cover a few different kinds of wigs. Like this one is just straight and long, and then you've got, honestly the easiest wigs to take care of are your short wigs. Like, actually here's a good one right here. Your shorter wigs are a lot easier to take care of. Like this, all you have to do is take your wig comb and just go through it a couple of times and you're done. And that's what makes the shorter wigs easier to take care of. I mean, they're short, they don't get tangled, which is fantastic. But longer wigs, you wear them out and about and they just get so frayed, and it's so sad. It makes me sad. And then curly wigs are the big one. Curly wigs are definitely the big one. Now, I'm gonna go grab one of those real quick because, like I said, they're the big one. One second. This wig I use for pinup shoots because I don't have hair for styling and pinupness, and I also use it for Black Widow. And it is curly. It is a curly wig. And taking care of curly wigs is a little bit different than taking care of normal wigs. Because if you go through and just comb it all at once, it's gonna start looking all mushy and gross. So that's why you have to do each curl individually, and it's very long and very tedious, but it's worth it, and it keeps your wigs looking nice. Like this. Yes. Now, why I store my wigs in bags is because it's just easier for me. I mean, the wig heads, they're like $2.99 each. I mean, you can get as many wig heads as you want, but for me it's easier just to get a thing of plastic bags. And another reason I like to stow my wigs in bags is because sometimes a wig is really heavy and it'll make the thing fall over, and then you've got heads falling down in your room in the middle of the night. And that's usually not very fun. So, yeah. Alright, so let's get started on the process of taking care of your wig. So, all I have in my house is a bathtub, so that's what I'm gonna use. So, basically, when I said laundry detergent, you're only gonna need just about this much of it, and this is my laundry detergent cabinet. Gotta put it back in my laundry room. So, you're only gonna need about this much, and you're just gonna dump it into your water. get it all in there. Yeah. Now, your water in your bathtub or your sink should be about lukewarm, not too hot. Definitely don't make it cold. The reason why I say lukewarm, because it's not real hair, but it should be treated almost like real hair. But since it's also a synthetic material, like well, most wigs, this one that I'm using is synthetic. I'm gonna actually grab it. Yes, the one that I'm using is synthetic, so it's like a fabric rather than, or I mean, you could, it's silk wigs, horsehair wigs, completely real wigs. It's kind of creepy, but I mean, whatever floats your boat. Like this one is synthetic, so you want to treat it like it's both fabric and hair. So I'm going to unbraid it really quickly. So you want to fill up your bathtub with lukewarm water, get all that stuff done. Very nice. And now you have blue hair. A long strand of blue hair. Okay, so I am going to mix up my water just a little bit. And I'm going to gently lay my hair down in it. Okay, now it's in there. And the next part of what you're going to do is you're going to get your shampoo. I use Aussie. You're not going to need too much. It's not real hair. Okay. And just get it all up in your strands. All in your strands. Yup. Once you get it all up in your strands, you're gonna want to rinse it. Rinse, rinse, rinse. And you can do it with me. And it'll eventually look like a sopping wet mess. This is what we're going for. And you can just kind of go down and squeeze out the water a little bit so it's not dripping all over your floor. Still kind of dripping all over my floor. Alright. So. Okay, so I'm gonna hang this up real quick. Okay, now that you've got your wig hanging there, what you're going to do is you're going to let it dry. Yes, let it dry. But since we are pressed for time, and I don't want to sit here and wait for it to let it dry, because it's kind of, yeah. Anyways, I am not going to wait for it to dry, but I know what I'm doing, so you guys wait until it's dry. So we're going to turn and face my door. That's where it's hanging up. Alright. Before I said combs, not brushes. Combs are good, brushes are bad. So combs are good, brushes are bad. Alright? So basically you're going to start at the bottom. Just start at the bottom, and as soon as you hit like a kink or something, I've had this wig for like 5 years now, so as soon as you hit like a knot, you're gonna work it out. Just work it out, just work on it, and see, like right here, found a knot, so I'm working on it. Yep, and right there, there's also a knot. I'm gonna work it out. And in the long run, this saves your wigs. Especially if you wear them a lot. You do this after every convention. Alright, so yeah, just when you're done combing all of those horrible, horrible knots out, I'm just gonna be thankful that you're done because it is a long and tedious process. I know. I do this all the time just because it's a part of good cosplay. You gotta take care of your wigs. A nice wig looks so much better in photos. We'll talk about cosplay photos later. Alright, so there you go. It's all nice and combed out. You can run your fingers through it. This isn't completely dry yet, so just go through it a couple more times. And there we go. So there are a few knots here at the top. The knots at the top are usually a little bit more difficult to get out. Yeah, it looks so much nicer when it's cleaned and just taken care of. And after that, I'm gonna put it on here. So yeah, just braid your wig and you'll be all set. And then it's ready for storage. And like, you can put it on a wig head or whatever you want to do. You store it the way you want to, but I prefer bags. Especially if you've got a lot of wigs, and I have quite a few. So, alright guys, thank you for watching my first video on a cosplay tutorial, whatever. Let's call it Wig Care 101. 102 will be later. Maybe it's 202. I don't know, I'm not in college. I joined the military. I'm going to college at the same time later after I leave. I've got like 40 days left. That's not important. Okay, anyways, if you happen to be in the Fort Myers area / Punta Gorda area of Florida during the weekend of March 2nd, 2013, come by and see our panel. There will be more on wig care. Also, some more cosplay how-to. I am so awkward. That's okay. Anyways, we've got prizes of awesome, like this Spider-Man mask. This is a prize. I'm gonna throw that there. We have a Roy Mustang plushie up for grabs. And I'm not sure what this is, but it's also a prize. And a Batman plushie. He's also up for grabs. Yeah. So those are some of our prizes, and then there's a schwaz ton of candy. And yeah. So if you happen to be at CGA, that's the convention, stop by and see our panel.